Mojo!
It's time to stick some photosynthesis and respiration facts into your long-term visual memory. Here we're going to tell you how to memorise the equations. Because they're exactly the same, but back to front, we're only going to teach you how to memorise the photosynthesis one. If you need the respiration one, just write it back to front. Right, open up your imagination and let's shove this content into your visual memory. Photosynthesis looks peaceful, just plants catching sun rays. But very few people know that if you hold your ear as close as possible to a plant, you'll hear that it is in fact the complete opposite. The first thing you'll hear is a bomb going off. It's a car bomb. Car bomb. Think carbon. Imagine there's a field of oxen nearby, looking glorious in their golden brown hides. But the shock of the car bomb turns their hide white. The car bomb dyes the oxhide. So the first element of the equation is car bomb dyes oxide, or carbon dioxide. Then the emergency services arrive. Sirens blaring. What do emergency services do? Squirt water all over the car to put out the flames. So we have car bombs dye oxides and water, or carbon dioxide and water. Picture those images clearly, and that's the left side of the equation memorised. Let's move on to the end of the equation. Think back to the scene. When you go back the next day, you find that the oxen are so embarrassed that their hides are white that they've put on clothes. But the only way to get the clothes to stay on is to glue them. So you have oxen and glue clothes, which reminds you of oxygen and glucose. Visualize that, and that's the end of the photosynthesis reaction memorized. So inside each peaceful photosynthesizing plant, you actually have a car bomb dyeing oxides and water reacting to form oxen with glue clothes, or carbon dioxide and water reacting to form oxygen and glucose. Now, you also need to remember the chemical symbol for glucose. Here's how to do that. Glucose is a carbohydrate which plants can use whenever they need to. Like everything else these days, it's on demand. So when you think of glucose, think carbohydrate on demand. Carbohydrate on demand. CHO. That reminds you that the letter parts of the glucose chemical symbol are C, H and O. But what about the number parts? Glucose is C6, H12, O6. Well, watch this. You can write a C like this. It's a 6. And look at this H. It's made up of a 1 and a 2, or 12. Okay, it isn't a capital H, but that's easy to change in your head. And finally, if you're in a rush, it's easy to write an O like this, which looks like a 6. So there you have it. C6, H12, O6. Glucose. Carbohydrate on demand. Which leaves us with the last thing you need to recall, how to balance the photosynthesis equation. And the answer to this, which some people will say is the answer to everything, is sex. Hang on, I misread that. The answer is 6. Look at the equation. Each term has a 6 at the start of it, apart from glucose, which has a C6 at the start of it. So to balance the equation, make sure that every part of the equation starts with a 6, except glucose, which already has a 6, a C6. Told you, it's all about the 6. Right, let's check if that's all gone into your head. Use the images we've given you to work out the answers. Pause the video and restart when you're ready. Here are the answers. And that's it. You absolutely need to do the quiz and worksheet below right away. It's the thing that will make the difference between memorising this or not. We'll be in touch shortly when it's time for you to rewatch this video. But in the meantime, thanks for using your imagination.